Welcome back to the Grand Solar Minimum channel. Tonight, our evening edition of the Grand Solar Minimum News, Monday, June 10th, 2019. Hope everyone had a great day. Let's go ahead and start off at thegrandsolarminimum.com. Take a look at tonight's show and headline, thanks to Mari here. Earth and space weather news, Grand Solar Minimum News live show links, change in the weather. This is a very busy cartoon. Ben Harris, am I correct on that? Ben Garrison, sorry. Famous for his drawings. And lots going on here, folks. So kudos to Mari for finding this one tonight. All right, let's look at our solar wind speeds so far today. It's not changed since much in the morning report. The 336.7 kilometers per second with a density of 6.1. And over here at actually updated. What's the matter?
Nothing. I just want to scoot that up a tad. Thank you.
All right. So thank you, Mari. Always helpful. Anyhow, solar wind speeds have dropped just a little bit here since we put this together, but there are no sunspots once again to report. The morning report, we were 22 days. And still nothing has become of that. Now, I want to take a look at something interesting because we started talking about TCI again. Just the other day, we were in the 4.3 range not too long ago. This TCI is now dropping into the 3.89 range, which is the opposite direction. Since we are heading into summer months here in the northern hemisphere, you would think that those temperatures would stabilize at the 4s and maybe rise just a little bit more. That is not what we are seeing at this time. Let's go ahead and go to the space weather section of our website here at thegrandsolarminimum.com. Quiet, very quiet. Geomagnetic activity, quiet as well. KP indices have been averaging at a 1 or at a 0. I would not be surprised if we were not in a quake watch here in the next 24 to 72 hours. That coronal hole that is Earth facing is now moving away from Earth, and we should see the results from that somewhere around the 13th of June is what NOAA forecasters are predicting with the effects. Right now it looks like it's just going to be an uptick in solar wind speeds, not much more than that. Guys, looking off to our eastern limb, we are not seeing any kind of activity or any approaching sunspots, so we will continue to be without sunspots. And this graph right here pretty much confirms that as well. Let's zoom out of this. Nothing real active from our star at this point in time, as there was some areas near the negative 180 that we thought might had a chance for possible activity, but that looks like it's even decayed as well. So very quiet conditions on our sun. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look and see what we have in store tonight. I was going to show TSI readings, but we're still having an issue. That information is being delayed right now on the TSI site that we go to. I'll have to refer to the last link that Starman had sent me. And here we go. So, earthquake today. Mari reported this earlier. Since when does Ohio get earthquakes? Magnitude 4.0 shakes near Cleveland. And I believe this article here is to speak of, it's not too uncommon, but it does happen. This is from AccuWeather today. A 4.0 magnitude earthquake struck near Cleveland, Ohio on Monday morning. It says that this was a shallow earthquake as well. There was no reports immediately of damage. Magnitude 4 earthquake can cause light to moderate damage. The USGS is collecting responses from people who felt the tremors. Over 8,000 people reported feeling the earthquake so far. The majority of the reports rate the intensity as weak to light. This event occurred in a region that is not typically associated with high seismic activity, and many residents contacted the local emergency officials after the shake. The city of Mentor said that the dispatch is overwhelmed with 911 calls, but that they are waiting for the experts to affirm that it was probably an earthquake here. A little mention of Mentor. I had a football coach who coached my high school who won a few titles in Mentor, and it's just a little bit outside of Cleveland. Many social media users expressed shock with earthquake and its location. This is Ohio. We're not supposed to get earthquakes or tornadoes, just bad weather, snow 6 months out of the year, and know that Ohio State football will beat Michigan in football every year, and that's very true, by the way. Another tweet here. We really just got hit by an earthquake in Northeast Ohio. Something ain't right here. And I know a lot of you in Northeast Ohio, we've had reports of tornadoes up there. Now we're talking about earthquakes. Of course, you guys had some moderate snow, nothing groundbreaking or anything, nothing typical out of the ordinary for Cleveland. But just a lot of people surprised. Oh, please tell me that the Simpsons didn't predict a Cleveland earthquake as well. While Ohio is not considered by most people to be an earthquake-prone state, there has been at least 200 earthquakes reported since 1776. That's not a lot of earthquakes, folks. I mean, you're talking a little over one a year, average-wise. So, if that. Shaking has also been felt in Ohio with several earthquakes that struck outside the state, such as earthquakes with epicenters in Pennsylvania or Kentucky. Remember, we had one in Manchester, Tennessee not too long ago as well. Another area that doesn't get a lot of earthquakes or any kind of activity like that as well. A little more stats here, folks, if you want to take a look at this little write-up here. Try to calm folks down as well. This has happened before, but still, very interesting to bring up. Last couple of days, we've seen some interesting activities from the La Brea tar pits leak to the Cinnabung 55,000-foot ash plume to the minor G1 geomagnetic storm. And now we can go ahead and possibly, we can't blame the grand solar minimum for every earthquake that ever happens, but can we blame the jolt that our magnetic field endured into sparking this seismic activity? Who knows? The research is still out on that. And I know some of you out there would probably say, yes, it has everything to do with that. And there are folks out there who still are on the fence just a little bit. And that's understandable because we still need more information. And there's tons of research still being done out there, folks. All right, let's move along here. Study determines that the Tatun volcano and Gushan Island are active volcanoes in Taiwan. Long-term study carried out by the Academia Sinica's Institute of Earth Science research team determined that this group north of Taipei City and Gushan Island are active volcanoes. Assisted by Ministry of Science and Technology, the team set up Taiwan Volcano Observatory at Tatum in 2011. They installed various real-time volcanic monitoring systems to carry out long-term monitor of the Tatum volcano group and submarine volcanoes off of the coast of Gushan. Researchers announced on May 29 that the volcano has a magma chamber underneath and that it erupted within the past 10,000 years, thereby classifying it as an active volcano. The lead researcher here, Lin, says their research fully confirms that there is a magma reservoir inside the northern crust of Taiwan, covering about a quarter of the area of the Taipei city. Their networks detect about 150 earthquakes under the Datun Mountain, sometimes 70 to 80 per day, lasting 1 to 2 days. The head Ministry of Science and Technology said that the Tatum volcano is very close to the greater Taipei metropolitan area. The highest peak mountain is less than 9.3 miles away from Taipei 101 building. If one day the volcano erupts, the accompanying earthquake and volcanic ash would affect the greater Taipei area. So, you know, I think a few days ago we shared an article on Facebook that earned us a violation. And that the article was referring to a dormant volcano in Russia that is suspect of becoming active again. And now we're talking about more volcanoes that are being confirmed as active that were once declared not active. And apparently it's been a long time, but at least within the past 10,000 years, this volcano has erupted, and that qualifies it to be active. All right, let's move along here. Deadly flash floods hit the Department of Haiti. This was a story that came out earlier today. At least 4 people have been killed, and another 4 are missing after heavy rain produced severe flash flooding in Haiti's Oust Department from June 3rd to June 6th of 2019. According to the Directorate of Civil Protection and media reports, roads and bridges were flooded. Over 500 homes have been damaged and as many as 17 completely destroyed in the OD's communes of Cabaret, Arche, Cité Soleil, Carrefour, Port-au-Prince, Tabar, and Greaser. All in Haiti, guys. 2 people died, 1. So these are not mass loss of life in each area. Each town that I just named off lost a person or 2. But 4 people are still missing, 3 in Carrefour and 1 in Cabaret. In addition, about 20 head of cattle were washed away as well in the city of Soleil. And just another example of heavy rains inundating parts of this world, creating loss of life, loss of livestock, and more than likely loss of crop as well. Not had a report yet on the actual amount of rain that has fallen. Reports are still coming in, but to have that many homes damaged and 17 completely destroyed with roads and bridges being flooded, we do have at least some moderate flash flooding going on in that part of the world. Plus, remember, guys, their infrastructure is not built to take on these kinds of conditions, and also it also takes a little bit longer, as we all know from past previous disasters there in Haiti. It takes a little time for aid to reach these people. So unfortunately, we will wait for more info as it becomes available in due time. Heavy rain, hail, and strong winds hit south, southwest, and East China, leaving at least 7 people dead. Torrential rains affecting China over the past couple of days produced deadly floods in several provinces in South, Southwest, and East China. According to reports released by Chi-Hao, at least 7 people have been killed, which at least 6 in one municipality, where at least 514,000 people were affected by the winds, hail, rainstorm-triggered floods. 45,000 people were relocated. Situation prompted the CNCDR and the Ministry of Emergency Management to jointly activate a level 4 emergency response and send a special team and relief materials to the affected areas. As 11 local time, Saturday, June 8th, the floods adversely affected 91,000 acres of crops and wiped out around 5,000 acres of crops. 58 houses have been collapsed, surging waters into 88 houses was severely damaged, and 12,000 residents urged in urgent need of aid as well. The storm has left at least 1 person dead, 4 missing, and 5 injured in its hardest hit country of Guangzhou. Heavy rain and floods affected more than 180,000 people and forced the evacuation of at least 8,380 people. So we'll go ahead and leave the link here at the website here at thegrandsolarminimum.com. Again, just another example. So we talk about deadly flash floods here in Haiti, China, killing people, and here we are in Western Japan. More flooding, folks. Parts of Western Japan were inundated by torrential rain early June 7th, forcing hundreds of people to evacuate and disrupting transportation services. The Japanese Meteorological Agency said that the warm, humid air moving towards the low-pressure system is causing very unstable atmospheric conditions on the Pacific coast of the western and central Japan. Local media reports that 775 people were forced to escape to the shelters. This happened after a level 4 out of 5 evacuation order due to potential flooding and mudslides in the region caused by heavy rains. Now, as of 0 UTC on June 7th, advisories have been issued for 4 municipalities in the Hiroshima Prefecture, extending to 224,000 people and 98,000 households, according to the JMA. So here's some of the rainfall rates. In a 12-hour rainfall period, 7.8 inches of rain in Umaji. Other places received almost 7 inches, 6.7 in the Komoto Prefecture. So once again, amazing amounts of rain in 12 hours. And what we have to correlate that with why this is a news story on this channel would have to deal with the particulates, not just from Volcano, but cosmic rays affecting our atmosphere, seeding our clouds, producing heavier rainfall as well, energizing these particles and particulates. And, you know, if this was just happening in Nebraska and Iowa, and maybe every once in a while in India or whatever, this wouldn't be a story right now. But the fact that we're seeing Japan, China, Haiti, United States, India, Turkey, Iran, Iraq, most of Europe, I mean, it's flooding everywhere. Everywhere that can report, that is. Not everybody can get their reports out into the mainstream media. And it's hard sometimes finding these articles. Obviously, Watchers.news does a really good job, and it's not that hard to find some of the information that we get for our broadcasts. And these guys do an excellent job of reporting. Accurate stats, good information. But there are other articles sometimes that are a little bit harder to find, and you got to do a little bit of digging. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Do you like this show? Give us a thumbs up. Want to support us more? Share to your favorite social media platform. Buy a t-shirt or become a Patreon. All links are in the description below.